What if I told you? Your favorite time of day, the way you text, and even how you react to silence already reveal who you really are. Not who you think you are, but the version of you your brain exposes every single day without you noticing. Stay till the end, because one of these psychological facts might explain something about yourself you've never been able to put into words. Psychology isn't about mind reading. It's about patterns. Tiny behaviors that quietly reveal your personality, your emotions, and even your hidden fears. Here are psychological facts that don't just describe people. They expose you. Let's begin. Number 1. Your favorite time of day reveals your mental state. If you feel most alive late at night, psychology suggests you may be more introspective and emotionally deep. Night thinkers often replay conversations, imagine future scenarios, and question their own identity. You are drawn to the quiet and solitude of the night because it gives your busy mind space to explore its own depths without the distractions of the day. Morning lovers, on the other hand, tend to feel more in control of their lives. They're usually goal-driven and comforted by structure. Waking up early gives them a head start, a feeling of productivity and a sense of command over their day. And what if you feel tired all the time, even after a full night's sleep? That's often not just physical exhaustion. It's emotional overload. Your mind is working so hard, processing stress, anxiety, or unresolved feelings that your body feels perpetually drained. It's a signal that your emotional energy is depleted, not your physical energy. Number 2. The way you text reveals your attachment style. Think about it. Your texting habits aren't random. They mirror how safe you feel in relationships. People who overthink messages, reread texts multiple times, or feel a wave of panic when someone replies late often have anxious attachment patterns. They seek constant reassurance because they fear abandonment. Their phone becomes a barometer for how connected they feel to others. Those who reply calmly, even after hours, tend to be more emotionally secure. They don't see a delayed response as a personal rejection. They trust that the connection is stable, regardless of the time between messages. And what about people who leave messages on read without a shred of guilt? They usually protect their energy and set firm boundaries. Sometimes this can also be a way to avoid emotional responsibility, stepping back when a conversation feels too demanding. Number 3. If you laugh at dark humor, you're likely highly intelligent. You know the jokes, the ones that are a little twisted, a bit morbid or sarcastic. Studies show that people who enjoy this kind of humor often have higher emotional intelligence and abstract thinking skills. Why? Because getting the joke requires processing multiple layers of meaning simultaneously. It doesn't mean you're a negative person. It means your brain is comfortable handling uncomfortable truths and complex ideas. You see reality as layered, not just black and white. You can find the absurdity in serious situations, which is a sophisticated cognitive skill. So, the next time someone raises an eyebrow at your dark joke, just know your brain is firing on all cylinders. Number 4. You judge others for traits you secretly fear in yourself. Ever notice how certain behaviors in other people annoy you instantly? Maybe it's arrogance, laziness, or neediness. You see it and you just cringe. Psychology calls this projection. It's a defense mechanism where we unconsciously attribute our own unacceptable qualities to others. The traits that irritate you the most are often the ones you're scared of becoming, or the ones you already recognize deep within yourself but refuse to acknowledge. That person you call attention-seeking. Maybe you secretly crave validation. That person you label lazy. Perhaps you're fighting your own tendencies toward procrastination. True self-awareness begins right where that judgment ends. When you can ask yourself, what is this really about for me? Number 5. If silence makes you uncomfortable, your mind is overactive. Do you constantly need background noise? Music while you work? A podcast while you cook? The TV on even when you're not watching? People who do this often struggle with intrusive thoughts. Silence forces your mind to face itself, and for many, that's a scary place to be. The quiet allows worries, anxieties, and unresolved thoughts to bubble to the surface. The noise is a shield, a constant distraction to keep your own mind at bay. On the flip side, if silence feels peaceful to you, you're likely emotionally grounded and comfortable being alone with your thoughts. You don't need to run from your inner world. You find stillness and clarity in it. Number 6. Your music taste reflects your emotional needs. Think of your favorite playlist. It's more than just a collection of songs. It's emotional self-care in disguise. And here is a common misconception. People who listen to sad music aren't necessarily always sad. In fact, they're usually trying to process emotions in a safe, controlled way. Sad songs provide validation, making them feel understood in their melancholy. Happy, upbeat music lovers often seek energy and motivation. It's like a shot of auditory caffeine. Lyrics-focused listeners crave understanding and connection. They want to hear a story that resonates with their own. And beat-focused listeners? They tend to live more in the present moment, connecting with the physical sensation of the music rather than its narrative. Your Spotify Wrapped is a psychological profile. Number 7. Over-apologizing means you learn to survive, not just be polite. Do you say sorry for things that aren't your fault? Apologizing when someone bumps into you, or for asking a perfectly reasonable question? If so, you likely grew up in an environment where you needed to keep the peace to feel safe. You learned that taking the blame, even when innocent, was the fastest way to de-escalate tension and avoid conflict. Over-apologizing isn't a sign of weakness. It's a learned survival skill that was once necessary to protect yourself. But healing begins when you realize you no longer live in that environment. You don't need to apologize for taking up space. You don't need anyone's permission to simply exist. Number 8. People who overthink at night are usually emotionally intelligent. The lights go out, your head hits the pillow, and suddenly your brain decides it's showtime. Replaying conversations, dissecting every word, and worrying about the future. It's exhausting. But here's the thing. Night overthinkers often do this not because they're weak, but because they care deeply. They feel more, notice more, and remember more than the average person. Their empathy and emotional sensitivity are dialed way up. The downside: their minds don't know how to turn off. Their deep capacity for feeling means they also have a deep capacity for worrying. It's a double-edged sword of high emotional intelligence. Number 9. Your first reaction reveals your true personality. Think about the last time you received surprising news. In that split second before logic and social conditioning step in, your instinct reacts. That raw, unfiltered, split-second emotion. That's the real you. It's your gut feeling, your authentic self speaking before your brain has a chance to censor it. What you say or do after that initial moment is often who you were taught to be. The polished version of yourself that knows the right way to react. If you want to know who you really are, pay attention to that first flash of feeling, the unfiltered joy, the flicker of jealousy, the surge of anger. That's where your truth lies. And finally, number 10. If this video felt personal, there's a reason. If you watch this and felt called out by one, or maybe several of these points, it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It means you're more self-aware than most people. It takes courage to look at your own patterns and recognize yourself in them. And that very self-awareness is the first, most crucial step toward personal growth. You can't change what you don't acknowledge. Psychology doesn't define you, it reveals you. And once you see yourself clearly, your patterns, your fears, your strengths, you can finally choose who you want to become. If one of these facts hit a little too close to home, like the video, and if you want more psychological truths that actually make you think, subscribe to the channel. Because the more you understand your own mind, the more control you gain over your life. Thanks for watching.